Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on Unified Commerce on Adobe Marketing Cloud. I'm Rajini Nallathambi. I am a practice head, and the current practice that I'm focusing on is Adobe. So let's get started. So the topic we chose today is Unified Commerce. As we all know, today I have different audience groups whose focus is more towards the commerce. And also I have a couple of folks from the marketing who is looking for, how this commerce and marketing could get connected. And so I'll try to make sure that we have something for everybody to take home. So today, the main focus is going to talk about Royal Cyber and the Adobe partnerships, and we are going to focus on, different commerce platform available and, how Adobe kind of works through this and how we get integrated. So we are definitely, putting Magento, which is the Adobe Run Commerce, but still, we also wanted to share some of the experiences of our commerce teams, like our SAP Hybris team and, WebSphere Commerce team, how they worked around with Adobe. We just wanted to keep it more broader for the commerce customers out there. So just to begin with, we hear like Adobe Experience Manager and everything. I think the slide speaks for itself, but I just wanted to iterate only a couple of three things that is, something more key. So we all know that, today it's not a commerce kind of way that we had before. People come and we could do marketing. No, it's all about buying the experiences. People buy because of the experience or the contentment they feel, the reach of the potential branding into their life. So this is something we know. And just to give, I just want to re-emphasize here three common elements that needs to be taken into consideration when we are really getting through this experience. So first one is, I started with knowing your visitors and what their decision drivers are. So when I talk about the first thing, let's talk a simple example, someone who is on, I'm going to use a Jane here. So typically I picked a Jane because we know that women are best at shopping and pretty much they are the decision makers across. So say that, our Jane is planning on a backpack trip, and let's kind of, as we go, we can use her as an example to see what are the different things a shopper encounters as they go for it. So saying that, I should know who my visitor Jane is and what is really driving their decision for the purchase, to just put it in the way. And the next thing what I'm trying to understand here is, what decision are they trying to solve at this point in their journey, and how do you, kind of progress that experience into an action item driving. You're able to drive Jane's action items by, providing the relevant context that Jane is really looking for. So, and finally, the more key thing that we need to focus is how do we effectively engage her into those experiences. What we are predominantly going to focus on today are, some exciting new capabilities and the different practices that can keep your brand deliver the optimal experience for each moment and touch point. So just to, reiterate, this is where the world of commerce and, this is pretty complex, and earlier we were focusing more on the commerce, but now it becomes a very key that we tie up even from advertising to the post-purchase, and we really need a single platform which can address all the solutions together and, in the better way. So this shows kind of, where we are going to go ahead and see how Adobe is doing this. So just I took the example Jane. So, just, to put that vital thoughts, like how this current technology world is picking up on different things to bring in the digital experience. We know that, as Jane knows, okay, she's going on a backpack trip and an awareness have been created. There is, Jane certainly understood that she has a need. So it goes as spaces where, there is a discovery process and, going into a shopping process and the purchase and the post-purchase. We'll just go with simple examples, how does she feels about it. So first is the awareness campaign. I mean, me being, a crazy online shopper or being Jane going to a backpack trip, awareness is something, you get through a different media. So today we know all our the media revolutionizers who sit out there like Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, every single person is, like more tied to the app, and there is a lot of digital revenue that's being generated by this different medium. So it becomes very important, like there is a brand awareness that needs to be created, and which tells people like, what you need and need item. And, obviously there is an awareness campaign. She's going to read about the different context on, the trips, what is mandatory, what needs to be done. And, like the searches, kind of bring that key essential awareness. And then it goes into the next phase where, a shopping trigger is being done with the discoveries and, like kind of what she sees. And we see that there is different media that's really, influencing the customer's decision. So we go into the shop mode, and as we go, there is different ways we try to evaluate the right product, which includes reviews. And then, we kind of go, we need a lot of filters being provided even for them to choose, the price, the best value. So all this has to be accommodated. And then finally the purchase, and every single user wants a frictionless purchase. Like, uh, they, there is definitely security, the major thing, and people trust, and people like the rewards. Like rewards have been a bigger thing that's been driving, and the rewards reaching them on time with more coupons and whatever really influences them. Like, okay, I want to try this. It kind of cultivates that. So we go there to the post-purchase, and like post-purchase is a key because you are building a customer profile and you're trying to have a journey with them that's begin. And really, the tools we choose should enable us in making sure that we understand these customers, who they are, what they like, their preferences. Uh, so it's very, very important throughout the journey that you have a customer profile and you have your audiences identified in the right way. So, like it's so technically put into words, this is a graph that shows that, how an experience can make a business, a more powerful tool, and, how you're going on, evaluating through all this process, how things come together. So again, when we talked about experience-driven commerce, like there's many things that come, and Adobe tries to put everything together with, with the help of Adobe Experience Manager that you heard about, with the Magento Commerce, which help with, like kind of the after post commerce activities that is around there. So we'll just go ahead and start talking about the Adobe Experience-driven commerce, which is like, kind of more, like talk towards, what is the different intelligence mechanisms they have. So when we talk about Adobe Experience Driven Commerce, I wanted to make sure there is the intelligence that really we need around the commerce. The reason is when your commerce system is not intelligent to capture what your customer is looking for with all the niche points that they encounter, it becomes very, very key, because we are moving towards a world where, things has to be decided in a fraction of a second. You have to kind of understand your customer and bring the relevant customer experience that they are looking for. You do not want to show the wrong products to your customer who is coming for, but mine, whoever comes for a jacket, shouldn't end up, browsing something else. So this is one of the intelligence that is very key in driving. And also the personalized experiences where, kind of it becomes very key that you feel like, you're connected and you trust the place where you're going. So the brand that needs to be, kind of added there is more important. And talking about this unified experience, we try to key the word as unified, because we want to make sure, all the systems kind of works together for the customer, and you provide the intelligence and, the optimizations that the customer is looking for. So we know that, again, I'm trying to put at the bigger picture, like, how those things work together. So you know that our enterprise conversations always need to revolve around audiences, campaigns, journeys, and a lifetime value. So having a common vocabulary or taxonomy always helps. So, kind of we talk always about unified profiles. So consumers are everywhere: mobile, social, and in-store. So they have different multiple touch points with you, like loyalty programs, purchase histories, and you need a support ticket. So everything has to be put together. So grappling with the complexities of this consumer relationship, it's always a core challenge, building this unified profile that enables you to give that unified experience. So we all know about the hype about big data and being able to process it at mind-numbing speeds. But like eventually we still get ads pitching me products about that you purchased last week. So it's kind of it goes hand in hand. We all know that ERP and CRM systems were critical for centralizing this information, but these are not the ones that's going to help you all the way, because the volume and the velocity and the variety of data that you encounter is going day by day. So how do we channelize all this information and bring it? So Adobe built this unified profile. So when we say that Adobe builds this unified profile, there is different profiles that like even a single customer has like each and every single factors that contributes towards him. Like we kind of show this with the different variables, like the environment variables, where is this customer coming from, and which is the device type the customer is using, to the different sociographic presence of the customer, and what was customers journey throughout when coming to kind of make that decision. It's all very critical into the commerce world. So Adobe tries to put all this unified profile informations together. And Sensei, so talking about Adobe Sensei, so just to give like I know that we are going ahead, like you can remember the keywords and we'll come to the product. So Adobe Sensei is the feature that kind of build this intelligence into the customer journey. And what it does is we have the analytic foundation where customers are able to go through and get the experience they want with the percentages. And you need to see around like what exactly a customer as he logs in with temperament factors, like this is influencing and whatnot. And then finally you are trying to also project into your business factor, okay, here is my KPI driven factor and here is what all my customer analysis that I did on my site is leading up to. So we'll go on to each product later after this couple of slides. And how do we build the business intelligence? It is something like we will try to see. So I just didn't want it to get a bit lost anywhere. So again, just I wanted to emphasize that the unique qualities that we are trying to build is kind of providing all the different ways to engage your customers, and how do you kind of record their journey. This is one of the key factors that we get Adobe into play. And one of the other thing that we want to consider is the optimization experience. So you have your omni-channel. So I'm sure that there is all the commerce customers out there always facing a pain as you entered into the customer journey, where we are talking about the omni-channel commerce experiences. So how does Adobe supports this? So not even getting into the product, we all know that there is different omni-channel experiences, which is the major challenge. And how Adobe provides this is, I know that this slide is going to be a little technical, and especially for the folks out there who is looking for the support that needs to be given for different platforms, like be it a social site where you would like to publish your content or pull the traffic to your site, and the digital web and the mobile web where you have different phones. And it's almost like estimated that there would be like different varieties of phone models today. You are minimum looking at 50 to 60 devices that's constantly top on the market that you're trying to optimize your content to. And then you have your field sales apps for the people out there who wants to do, and your CRM, maintaining your customer relationship journey. And we know that the devices have been going higher in numbers, like be it an AR, VR, or any other devices that's being introduced. We all know that our home is filled with the different IoT digital devices. So again, so to face all these challenges comes as authoring. So this is where the marketing team comes into picture. Knowing the different omni-channel experiences, how would your authors be in position, like your marketers be positioned to provide this context to your customers? So I have been working with different author people who really enjoy working with Adobe products. The main reason being their content are more centralized, and they are able to author in a centralized way to different medias that they are trying to kind of work over, be it an AEM screens where you're trying to project your touchscreen UI in your store locations, to kind of where you have your digital sites being updated with promotions. There should be a more flexible and simple to use authoring capacity, especially coming to commerce with each product provided individual significance, be it the Thanksgiving, this is my top sale product, you have to be quick there. You cannot delay. And so it involves, like more efforts from the authoring team rather, relying on an IT team to be there for you all the time. So this is a complete different experience. So definitely, the focus have been around the rich authoring capabilities. And again, like, this is getting, little into the product base, like, so when you have the experience cloud, you build kind of experience fragments, which eventually leads to fluid experience. So when I talk about experience fragment, I really wanted to, put it break down it more simpler to you. With the Adobe Experience Manager, where we are building this experience fragments, which kind of promotes it to your any social media. Just to give a simple example, you want to create a Facebook splasher, you can create your experience fragment sitting at the event of your content authoring under the Adobe Experience Manager, and you try to market to your different channels, and kind of this makes your author's life easy, as well as your marketing channel more focused, to give the right content experience to your team. So, and we spoke about Sensei a bit earlier, providing that intelligence. So how does this intelligence come through as Adobe Sensei kind of works in gathering, like, okay, so our Jane came for a backpack trip. And what is our Jane's choices? What is her preferences? Is based on the past history, it tries to put towards all the data. And with the analytics we have on the Jane's information, kind of we judge, okay, Jane came in, she's looking for a backpack trip, and how do you continuously engage Jane in, notifying her the best trips that she could take and the best products that helps. All this falls under a channel where, you need that digital intelligence in driving the journey throughout the her customer journey should be, like kind of going forward. So to put it, we will go by a product example, and then, kind of we will go over. So I thought, like, it's very critical. We have been talking many pieces, and maybe, this is the right time to talk about a couple of products and, how they support. So I'm going to drive this with, again, the Jane's example. So you have your experience manager, which is your CMS content management system. And the main reason, like we try to kind of bring this experience manager tied with Adobe other products is to give more relevant content to your customers who is looking for the right platform. And the main thing is, like when you try to say, like, okay, now I have to build my brand consciousness that goes through different omni-channels, you need one solution that's going to kind of build your campaigns. So that is where, Adobe Campaigns and comes into picture. So as your content author sits there and says that I need to drive a Thanksgiving campaign for a couple of products, which is more, the best-selling products of Thanksgiving. So what happens next is your experience manager takes the better control, where you create all the fragments and, you create the workflow, and then it goes through the campaign manager to your teams. So everything under one roof is certainly more helpful, because your team never works in silos. So, like the more silos team is going to be, different marketing, which when you talk about experience, I would like to see, a sale that is published in a content management system, or, like your front facing B2B site on a mobile too. And I would like to see, hey, and this is one thing, that's been noticed in the past, that a customer always prefers doing things that they do over a web page. Like I sit on my computer today and I do something, I do browsing, and I'm there. And once I walk back, and I would like to see the things that is there over. But how do you bring this? How do you bring everything under one roof? And when you are trying to send your customer something, more about an email campaign, then how do you drive this campaign too? So it's very niche points, and how do you kind of target your customer? That becomes, like a more relevant marketing challenge, that targeting your customers. So I know very well that Jane is going on a backpack trip, and any content relevant to a mountaineering experiences and the products they could take should reach Jane. So how do I build that? So that's the challenge that Adobe tries to solve with all their campaign experience cloud. So what they do is, on the experience cloud, you get access to all these products, and which is built with more intelligence to kind of sort out. And we go with the launch of experience manager, and then we kind of utilize the other products that's available to go ahead and kind of work over it. And so specifically for the commerce, since like we are more focused on commerce, we have today like multiple customers who are driving their commerce experience, and Adobe provides a strong framework for the commerce experience customers, especially calling the commerce integration and optimization framework, which enables you to connect to your commerce, the current commerce driven system that you're using, be it Hybris or WebSphere Commerce or Magento. And even with other commerce, the CIF framework by Adobe helps you in connecting, different experiences that is around, catalog or product info, be it order management that needs to be done, controlling. So it takes a complexity behind, whereas experience manager really builds your customer journey. So this is one of the key culture. So these are the products that we have been talking about. I feel that probably I'm going to show a quick demo. This demo is about the commerce side, the out-of-box commerce site that Adobe provides. Pretty much, like this is a retail site that Adobe provides. And so you could see that, I'm just trying to scroll over the content of the product. So here you have this page where you have your menu built, and you have your splash page and the teaser pages where you could see that kind of you have the content being published on a regular basis. And pretty much Adobe supports an internationalization where you can kind of go ahead and work on multiple author site across countries. And we actually recorded this because normally we would like it to be more intuitive for the customer. And so here we go with the checkout order. So this is one of our sample sites that we develop, but pretty much, like on our customer journeys, we have seen that, instead of rather creating new templates, more customization, Adobe has come out with more features that builds these templates quick enough, like you're able to stand up your site in a couple of weeks. So what we tried was like, we integrated this with SAP Commerce. So all this that you see now is like an out-of-box template that is available with Adobe, which really cut the time during our customer implementations. So we have major clothing brand who have, kind of created their sites with almost like I think they have around 15 stores which are built on this out-of-box templates. And this was, like fairly quick, and they were able to easily integrate with the CIF framework. So there's a couple of things on the CIF framework we built for them, and like they went in no time market with all those experiences, and we kind of branded their site with the customizations needed for the look and feel. So this is a way like you could build. And again, like as I mentioned, we have come a long way. Along with this, we have the analytics that's been integrated for them to drive, what are their KPIs, where their orders are failing, and like kind of you could see that the order is being processed. So that's where like kind of this is back office to the SAP Hybris, and we have kind of created the order over the SAP Hybris, where you could see that the order was in whatever was placed, and then you go with different tabs that kind of goes across and gives the order information. We didn't really do a lot of coupons over our samples, but like there's great features that Adobe provides out of the box. So kind of we built together an easier way to kind of put your promotions. And one of the things what I would like to specify here is when we did this for them, their campaigns was targeted by building into Adobe Experience Manager the needed content, and then it was kind of moved in. So this is something like really I wanted to kind of bring to the table. And so again, we have talked a lot about the integration architectures around. I would like to give kind of our Adobe experience work. So we have worked across like more than 70 plus e-commerce sites. which our customers have launched in. And these are more, you would call it, we actually kind of build the headless commerce, and kind of the focus have been around unified commerce. I just wanted to talk about some of the customer challenges that we came across, which can kind of educate. So some of our customers was in, like their campaign managers was an isolated marketing program that they were running. And the way we kind of built this is when they have their Adobe Experience Manager, we kind of made sure that, how quick their content authoring and the marketing team can emerge as a strong team for, building content in a very less time. We all know that, like content authoring team is always challenged more with building innovative contents all the time. We know the pain. So, kind of we brought these teams together and, kind of enable them to do this campaign through the Adobe Experience Manager, how they could put things. And one of the challenges we came across, we know that, Adobe has like more out-of-box solution for building into this commerce. But as an experienced people who can provide them, the strength of doing things in a faster way, we ourselves have developed like different product based CIF attributes. So when I call attributes, it is the different components that we built across, which makes things easier. And we mainly work with major commerce practitioners like Hybris and WebSphere Commerce, and work with Magento. Some of the pain points we face, when customer wants to give that niche component, we already built them and enhanced them so that, customer could use that in no time. So there is different product carousels we built apart from the Adobe standard ones. We have built the different pickers, and we kind of worked on our AI integrations. So when I say AI integrations, we are talking about, the different way that in our mobile experiences we built, where you could kind of build a 360 experience, and you can kind of see like a customer like who picks a jacket to see how it looks on them over a picture. So there is different fantastic components that we build which can go ahead with the existing Adobe structure. So there's always, we always felt, the intelligent commerce is becoming more key, because the moment the customer enters, it's, like a short duration. You're trying to read who your customer is and what their preferences is. The target-based experiences we had was very critical, because the moment the customer comes, we wanted the customer. So one of our engaging activity that we had was when a customer logs in by the location, we had to promote the events that's happening around the area. So this was, something we were able to do it on the Adobe Experience Cloud. We were able to activate the different targets that the customer had, and based on the locations, we was able to pull the specific content the customer was trying to offer. So just to like summarize, I just wanted to I know that there's out there, I see you guys are like coming up with different kind of experience background. Somebody might be specific on one Adobe product, and somebody might have an experience and campaign. I just wanted to give a cater information how this whole journey works, and if there is like anything like how everything goes together, for you to kind of understand what are the different channels that you work ahead. I'm just pulling the slide back so that I can kind of put the products that you are using today. So we'd like to like leverage like most of our experiences to help you out there. And I know that this is a broader webinar. We had a lot of things to talk about, and there could be some specific questions you were looking on this webinar. So just to help all you guys, we have something like especially for the people who are on the webinar attendees list today, and kind of we provide a 20 hours consultation for the Adobe services. I know that this is a very broader topic, and if there is any specific pain points, be it your content authoring team or your administrator team is focused on, feel free to let us know. You can email us at the marketing@royalcyber.com. So you can go ahead and kind of send us the note, and just we'll try to set up something so that we can talk more specific to the challenge you're facing today, or be it an evaluation of the product, like you're trying to evaluate how Adobe works, then yeah, we could do that. And so that brings to the end of the session. And I hope I was able to give at least like good key informations you were looking for. Thank you, folks.